This right here might be what architects lose their job to. Imagine graduating with a master's in architecture.
This is a really interesting conversation that I have been following and a part of for a while. The current studies are showing that the role of architects is relatively protected, but the jobs that train architects are not. I can even say, I mean, if you've looked at my feed, you've seen some of the things that I've done using technology. Those used to be done by a person. You know, when I walk around a building with my iPad using Canvas to scan it, that used to be 1 to 2 of my interns spending, 2 hours or so collecting existing information in a building. Now I do it with my iPad in 45 minutes and send it out to get processed to become a Revit drawing. What used to be taking that information and inputting into the computer, gone. What used to be taking some of that existing information in the computer and turning it into clean drawings, I outsourced that. So the question really becomes, how do we train the architect? I don't know. There's still a lot that goes into it. There's still generative design is really useful, but it can't yet tell what's good and what's not. You still have to come to that. You could pump in, I use a software that I pump in zoning information, floor area ratios, and it'll pump out multiple iterations of a potential building that I can then show to my client. So in 30 minutes, I can send them 6 options of a building, which used to take half a day to come up with maybe 2-3 options. It's wild out there right now. And I'm most concerned about maybe not this round of students, but like the next generation, especially if they can't find a new way to train architects. It's one of the reasons I heavily push more universities and states to allow for the integrated path to architecture licensure that NCARB allows. That process is supposed to basically be almost in line with lawyers and close, engineers aren't really there, but they've simplified a bit. Currently what we do, you go to school, you get your degree, you do your internships, and then you test. And then once you test, you take all of that and you bring it to the states to get your license. The integrated path to architectural licensure lets you go through the process of the internship while you're in school, testing while you're in school, so that when you graduate, you have a license. That's the valuable part of this career. And I think that it's important that we find a better way to get people